Making fragrance content has its downsides. One of the downsides is you don't get to wear the stuff that you actually like really love because you're testing new stuff, you're trying new stuff out. Mind you, I am very blessed about, all these fragrances that I have and I'm collecting, and the collection is just gonna be ever growing. But there comes a point where you miss or you admire the fragrances that you once loved. Now you're only wearing them sparingly. It's a great problem to have, but I wanted to put together a list of fragrances that I would keep regardless if my collection was gone. So I guess this would be 10 fragrances for the rest of my life. So I want to start it out with Tom Ford. He's an inspiration of mine, and Tom Ford Ombre Leather would be the first one. Tom Ford Ombre Leather is a beautiful, spicy, soft, floral kind of leather fragrance. It's very soft and it doesn't have like that roughness behind it, but it still has a masculine edge to it. I find it's very unisex. It can be worn anytime, anywhere, especially in the fall and the winter time. Maybe avoid the summertime with it. Doesn't work in the high heat. Comes across very cloying and just overbearing. I get great performance with it, and it's just a simple love for me. It makes me feel so confident, and especially when I'm wearing leather, it's just an amazing fragrance. The next one is Paragon by Initio, and this one is a recent love of mine because it shares the same name as my channel. I know that sounds very cheesy, but I digress. Paragon Fragrances has been incredibly monumental in my life, and this one came out a month after I created my channel. So I was like, I think it's a good staple. It's a good reminder. Other than the names, mixing, I love this stuff so much. It's a Palo Santo plum oud kind of mixture. It's sweet fruity, but it's also got a woody depth to it that is just marvelous. Really sophisticated stuff. It's a little playful. I love the fruity aspect with it. It's very alluring. It's definitely a fall to the springtime, fall, winter, spring kind of fragrance. It doesn't have like a summer vibe to it, I think, personally. I think, once again, like the Tom Ford Ombre Leather, it could come across a little daring, a little cloying in the winter time. Not the winter time, the summertime. But I love it so much. One of my favorites, Paragon. I mean, the name regardless, I gotta represent. All right, let's talk about a freshie. Prada Carbon is one that I would wear. I would wear this all the time if I could. It's like Sauvage, but it's a little fresher, and it's got, that metallic kind of smell to it. I get compliments on that a lot. If I didn't have so many fragrances, that I would be wearing a lot of Prada Carbon because it's an easy wear. People love it. I love it. And it's just a magnificent, fresh and clean, lavender heavy, fresh, spicy kind of scent. Got a little bit of musk in there to kind of really make it just exquisite. All right, the next one might be a little controversial, but this is, once again, this is the fragrances that I would take with me for the rest of my life, not necessarily you. This is Polo Red Parfum. And this is a really great interpretation of Polo Red. It's got the fruity sweetness, the red fruity sweetness, the fruity red berries. It's got an interesting absinthe note in here, giving it kind of like a zing to it in the base. And it's got a really nice woody, musky dried out. It's fresh, it's playful, it's sweet, and it's a little fruity. It's really great. It doesn't last all that long, but it is a very good, fresh and clean kind of fragrance. And Polo Red brings me back to some good old days. So it's more of a nostalgic kind of, detail that I'm adding in here, but I love it regardless. I might even wear it tomorrow or just wear it right now. So good. All right, moving on. We're gonna talk about Dior Homme Intense. This is on pretty much everybody's list. If you're a fragrance enthusiast, you know about Dior Homme Intense, and this stuff is just immaculate. It's iris heavy. It's got a lot of woods in there. It's a woody denseness, and it's got this little cocoa kind of vibe in there, but the cedar wood in here is done in this kind of pencil shavings kind of aspect that comes from a lot of like amber woods and some cedar, really good stuff. But then it also has the floral powdery iris in here, giving it a nice lift, powdery aspect, just pleasant stuff. Vanilla in here as well, giving it some sweetness, but the base of it is a very fresh base, very pleasant. All right, let's talk about some vanilla fragrances. I love me some vanilla fragrances, and this is one of the favorites of mine. This is Mercedes-Benz Club Black, and this is a rich amber fragrance. Got some incense in here, giving it a little bit of a smoky aspect. It's also got some jasmine in here to make it a nice floral touch in here. But the main thing with it, vanilla, smoky, a nice solid woody base, and it's just fantastic. A lot of people think it smells like a candle, and you could get that comparison, absolutely. I think it's a little bit more sophisticated than a candle, because candles are like 12 bucks and you are more expensive than that. And then another vanilla fragrance that I absolutely adore is Pegasus. Pegasus from Parfums de Marly is a cloud of vanilla. This one has a lot of heliotrope. It's got a bitter almond smell, giving it kind of this natural, earthy, nutty quality, but it's very vanilla heavy. It just smells like a beautiful cloud of vanilla. There's some sandalwood in here and some clean musk to give it kind of this nice base. It's a very long lasting fragrance too. I get a really good longevity with it. Great projection as well. It's a very nice and bright, airy kind of fragrance. There's a lot of, I get a distinctive benzyl acetate molecule in here, which is it's a synthetic material that is in a lot of natural ingredients, but it gives it kind of this lift. It's very pleasant, but it's a beautiful heliotrope, vanilla, bitter almond, sandalwood, and musk character in here, and a little bit of a lavender touch. Very, very nice. All right, the next one I would totally have in my collection for the rest of my life is Cedrat Boisé. I don't think I'm gonna run out of this anytime soon, so I think I'm in the clear, but this is a fruity, woody, fruity amazingness, absolutely what it is. It's got a little bit of a floral nuance in here, but the main thing is Fruit Loops in the woods. That's like what I like to call it. It's fruity sweet. It's got this like, pineapple, kind of black currant kind of smell, and then you have a lot of woods in here, giving it kind of this woody, creamy. Florals balance it out, and it's just freaking pleasant. You gotta get on that. Another one would be Eau Intense Vetiver by Hermes. So this one is a little hard to wear, a little hard to pull off. If you're not familiar with Hermes and Eau Intense Vetiver, you might think that this one smells like junk, which I wouldn't disagree with you because fragrance is so subjective. But I love the juicy citrus that's going on in here with all this woody, creamy vetiver. It's very vetiver heavy, and it's very kind of off-putting for some. This is a really hard blind buy, so do not blind buy this. Do not go on to Fragrance Buy and buy this right after you get done watching this video. Don't. If you want to order a sample, there'll be a link down in the description down below. You can order a sample. The Fragrance Decant Boutique is the fragrance sample house that I use now, but this is really good stuff. It's just a little hard to wear, but I would give it a shot if you're a fragrance enthusiast. All right, and then Armani Code Parfum. This is just great. I get so many just compliments on this stuff, and I just love the way it smells. And whenever I spray this on, I know I'm gonna have a great day because it's just such an uplifting scent, and the scent character on it is just one of my favorites. So it's hard to not put this in the list. I was gonna put Cologne in the list here, but because I would totally put this one in the list, absolutely. But this one is discontinued, so it's hard to find, and I don't want to put I'm trying not to put discontinued fragrances in my fragrance lists anymore because it's hard for you guys to pick it up. There might be a discontinued fragrance in here. I don't know. I don't keep up on the trends of discontinuations. I should though. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below, what are the 10 fragrances that would stick around in your collection for life? I want to know from you guys. Let me know. We'll see you next time.